Hi, I'm Tayler Birch. So I did start the course as an actor, but I offered my services in a completely PG way. There are a lot of administrative things, and I just said, if you need any help, reach out. And that did snowball. So I think initially I was just, passing messages along to the actors for Kieran, our director. It snowballed. They're very different because I think maybe not in every crew role, but particularly like in production, it's very logical. Because when you're an actor, you're very creative, and you're always creating. You're always kind of developing this fantasy story world that your character can exist in. But when you're in crew, you've got to be very grounded, very logical, very structured. It's all about schedules, deadlines, lists, which is something that I live on. Anyone will tell you. If you ask anyone in our group, I was obsessed with the calendar, the Google Calendar, a lot at the beginning. And finally, we managed to get everybody on there, trained, updating everything on the calendar. So it only took 3 months, but we got there. How much I do enjoy being behind the camera, because I've never been behind the camera before, and it's quite fun. It can be stressful from time to time, but again, I think there is no job in the world that doesn't have stress. And I think, what have I learned? I think just a lot of your skills can be transferable, and I think I just never thought of this kind of as an option, because I just didn't think, I know nothing about film. I haven't seen Game of Thrones, but I would say I know nothing. I feel like that's a quote from it. I've never seen it, but I see the memes a lot. I just didn't know, but through doing the course and working with everybody else in kind of production to work on the film, I'm like, actually, I have quite a lot of skills which I can use here, which I've learned from my current job and previous jobs. I think I've always needed a bit of structure, but obviously as you get older and I work in corporate, the more you work, the more structured you need to be, the more kind of complex everything becomes. So kind of looking at what I'm doing for my job and going, actually, I can just use that over here. I'm a very curious person, so I'm always like pestering the other members of the crew, like, oh, what about this? What's grading? Can you tell me about that? I think Ronak, our art director, created a grading PowerPoint, because I was like, can you tell me about it? He's like, I'll create a PowerPoint. Great, excellent. Which is quite fun. There's also a kind of like a bit interested in editing. So went to the editing workshop, which was quite fun. I've been able to kind of like cast my hand at that a little bit, which again is something I kind of learned in my job, and I'm like, oh, actually I can do that here. So I think, obviously, because I wasn't planning on kind of doing the two roles, it's probably just navigating it in my current schedule with my job, with the acting requirements of the film, including this. And then also I'm now one of those auditions I mentioned in my actor interview I got, yay. So I've also got that film as well. So just, I think, and also you've got friends and family that you're trying to like slip into little pockets here or there, and time for yourself. So I think that's a big thing, is navigating that. It's just time management. And I know people say it a lot, it's time management, but it's kind of like finding those pockets and filling them with necessary things. Not watching, instead of watching Netflix while I'm eating my dinner, I'm like watching over, somebody's interview before I post it, whatever it is, but it's kind of like finding more efficient ways to do everything. Well, I was supposed to be finishing my novel this month and last month, which I wrote in 90 days, and then I thought I'd take a little while to fine tune it and submit it, and so I'd like to finish that. I think is probably my number one thing, is to finish that. Obviously I'm going to publish that and then make it into a film. I'll act in it, I'll produce it. No, I won't. I'm getting very ahead of myself here. I don't know, it definitely has, I think, changed my perspective in a way I didn't think before. I knew when I finished, uni and the degree that I had, I knew that I would have to have a conversation with myself. I mean, not like the normal ones I have, of course, but I knew I was going to have that conversation of like, where does this go? What's the next chapter of my life? But obviously, like, I scheduled that time in because I'm all about the schedule. So I thought I'll have that conversation with myself June, July. Obviously, I've had to push that back, but really think about, really consider everything, and yes, this is throwing a spanner in the works. Like, I literally had no idea that I had skills for this, and I think it's looking at what skills you have, which I think sometimes can be difficult when you're looking at, CVs or creating your own CV even. Not looking at something and thinking, I can't do it. It's looking at something and going, what are the things that I have? What is a list of everything needed? What is the list of what I have? What do I need? And how can I get it? I think setting clear objectives. So we start shooting in 2 weeks, which is all very exciting. And so, this is where my job role kind of gets a bit busy in terms of just making sure we have everything. We have all the documentation, we have all the paperwork. Everybody's done their COVID training. Everybody has ordered in their lateral flow test kits, because that's a big thing, is COVID. Will it derail the film? It will not. I'll have a stern word with it. We'll go back to its room and think about what it's done. No, but just making sure we've got everything together, and all the paperwork, all of the paperwork. I kind of love paperwork. I know some people are always looking for people who love paperwork. This is me. And also doing a similar thing on set, making sure we've got everything, making sure just, monitoring it day by day, hour by hour, everything that goes in, everything that comes out, storing it, more paperwork, more lists. So it's kind of exciting, and just to kind of do this for a film instead of like an event, to do it for a film, and just to kind of, I wouldn't say I'm nervous. I think I'm just excited to see how it plays out on the day, and I think and excited to, and from a like crew perspective, excited to see the actors as well, in terms of what they do and how that kind of works in combination with the DOP and the shots and everything, because half of that time I'll be behind the camera watching, which is kind of, and a lot of the actors are also doing set dress, or I think they're doing assistant producer or whatever it is on the day, so kind of just to see that collaboration, that collaborative spirit that Group 11 has. So I think we're all very excited for that.